that good?
All right.
All right. Sometimes I fuck up the intro, so
Okay,
if I
perfect.
just give me, gotta get into it. But all right, you ready?
Yep, I think so.
All right. Hey guys, it's Noah from Ask4Noah. I'm here with Brittany at Pearl. See, I fucked it up. Pearl Beauty. Okay. Take 2. Hey guys, it's Noah from Ask4Noah. I'm here with Brittany with Pearl Beauty for today's SBS. And as you guys always know, SBS is Small Business Saturdays. We're here to collaborate over competition. So Brittany, why don't you introduce yourself?
All right. Hi guys, I'm Brittany. I'm a cosmetic tattoo artist, also aesthetic student in the teaching. So we can kind of dive into what all that entails.
Okay.
I do cosmetic tattooing, which involves microblading, combination brows. It's just not as deep as a regular tattoo. I feel like that's always the first question.
Yeah.
I just make eyebrows better.
There we go. Awesome. So where are you located?
New Holland, Pennsylvania, here on Main Street.
Okay, awesome. And how long have you been here?
Here since
this
January,
location?
Yeah, this location since January.
Okay.
So we popped off the new year here. That's been really exciting.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what got you into this industry, this field?
Oh, long story short, so I'm also in radiology. I'm a CT technologist.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I went to college. I started college around 2016, and I was trying to get in a program in Southern Utah, and
Okay.
very competitive. I had a B- in physiology, and that wasn't good enough. So
Wow.
I didn't get accepted, and I kind of had to pivot, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do. And my best friend Brandy, shout out to Brows by Brandy.
Okay.
She did microblading on me, so I kind of knew what it was about. And I was curious, and I saw that she had posted that she was offering classes. So I don't know what compelled me to do it, but something was like, go sign up for this class. Worst case scenario, you learn that you don't like it. And
Yes.
that was in 2018, and fell in love ever
Okay.
since.
And you
Yeah.
haven't looked back.
Haven't looked back. Yeah.
Gotcha. So 2016, you were gonna go to college.
Yes.
And for some reason, a B- didn't, make
Right,
it, which
yeah.
is ridiculous. And then a friend of yours was already in the industry.
Correct.
Gotcha. So
Yeah.
that's what got
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then 2018, you passed is it a certification? Is it licensing? Like what is the?
No, so yeah, started college 2016. 2018 is when I was finishing up my prerequisites for that radiology program. That's when
Okay.
I didn't get in, and then so that's just when I had to figure out what I wanted to do next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do I want to do? That's
yeah,
a big
good.
question.
It was either that, or I had to wait a whole another year to reapply for that radiology program
Oh,
in
wow.
hopes that I would get accepted. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's ridiculous.
yeah.
So 2018 then is, when you had to have that question with yourself of like, what am I going to do next? What was going through your mind? Like, how did you feel about that? Because that's always a big
Right.
moment of like,
Yeah, I
it
think-
sounds like you were planning.
Correct. I was gonna say, you're just so like gung ho, and you have like your head so straight that this is what's gonna happen. Like I had a whole plan set up, and I think when that feels shot down, it's a little defeating. But I think the biggest part that I learned from that is like it's okay to change and to do new things.
Yeah.
And eventually I ended up getting in a different program, so I'm able to do both currently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but I think it was just very like. It okay to like challenge me to do different things that are out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Just to like, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do both right now.
I do, yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I work at Hershey Medical Center, PRN, which is just as needed. So I'm there about 3 days a week, and then
Okay.
I'll be here in my studio the rest of the days.
Wow. So how does that look balancing that? Because I know a lot of small businesses, when you first get started, or even as you're growing the business, sometimes you want to fill the voids. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's actually awesome that you have that like other experience and that licensing
Right.
and all those other things to be able to do that. Because there's a lot of people out there that aren't as flexible.
Right.
You know what I mean? So how does that look with like your week and stuff like that? And how do you balance both?
So I'm fortunate enough where at Hershey Med Center, like they're just so busy.
Yeah.
And so my PRN position, really, that's the only thing that's required of me is just like 1 week in a month. But because they have so many slots to fill, like I kind of get to pick and choose when I want to
That's
work.
nice.
So it is.
Yeah.
It works out very well, especially with being here, and like I'm able to kind of set my schedule, and about every 2 months they'll say, what does your availability look like, and then
Yeah.
I can kind of plan and figure out how I'm going to be able to work with
That's
both.
nice.
Yeah. So currently, I had mentioned that I'm in aesthetic school, and so that's just like to add on more services to my business here. So my week looks like Tuesday through Friday is 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. for schooling. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday after school, I head to Hershey 3 to 11, and then Saturday, Sunday, Mondays I'll be here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like a hell of a week.
Yes, it is, but it's temporary. That's what I keep telling myself. We're almost
No,
done.
for sure.
So,
There's always those stepping stones.
Yep.
So when in 2018, now you've made the decision of like, hey, this is something I enjoy or I'm interested in. What did that look like then moving forward from there? Did you work under somebody? Did you work for another company?
I
Like,
have
what did it look like?
always, I've never worked for another person.
Okay.
And, yeah, which is kind of rare in some cases, because I know some people to, start out and build your business, it's easy to go somewhere that's a busy salon or, a busy area where they can get noticed and get that clientele. But I think because something in me just always is like, I wanted to have my own shop. I wanted to be by myself. So I fortunately, when I first started in Southern Utah, my friend had a studio kind of like this, and she's just like, go in there the days that I'm not there. So I did that, maybe a couple clients a month. I did that, and then
In Utah?
Yes, I'm originally from Southern Utah, by the way.
Okay.
Yes, St. George, Utah. Lived there for about 14 years, and then moved here because I got accepted into a Penn State radiology program.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
yeah, there's kind of
I was gonna say, what the hell did you?
Yeah.
How did you go from Utah to Central PA?
Yep. So got accepted into the Penn State program out here. But yeah, it's just, I've always been by myself in my own space, taking a couple clients a month, and then really started college. I never really took this seriously like I really wanted it to, but I knew I had to focus on college, get that out of the way. Once I graduated, that's when I said, okay, like I really want this business to be mine and create it what I envision it to be. So.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you're from Utah.
Yeah.
Got into Penn State.
Yep.
When did you finish Penn State then?
2020 in December.
2020.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
So then, man, COVID.
I know, right?
Every SBS we do, COVID gets brought up and like what it looks
it's
like.
Inevitable.
So let's dive into that. So it's 2020. You graduated.
Yes.
I'm assuming like later in 2020, right? Or in like spring of 20?
December 2020.
Okay, so you've already been through all the craziness.
Yeah.
What did that look like then when one, you're in the medical field, so you're, they needed you.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the other side of things too, with like, your business and whatnot, how did that look like?
It was both like a gift and a curse, like a silver lining there, just because it was unfortunate that I couldn't work my business. I couldn't see my clients. I really couldn't work on it and focus on it the way I wanted to. And I'm not such a huge social media person where everyone like dove into that realm. They're like, okay, I'm going to build my business online and get that exposure. And so I kind of like let that dwindle a little bit while I was still able, hospital is always going to have a job.
Yeah.
And so I was fortunate enough to be able to, carry that career into that, craziness. But it also was really intense because it was scary in 2020. That was when, masks were required. You had to wear all the PPE. And
you guys were working thousands of hours.
Yes, yeah. Anyone that even coughed, 10 feet away from you, you're like running away. So it was scary, it was intimidating, but we made it. I just tried to look at it like I have job security and I'm able to, get myself by. And then once hopefully this was over, I can, go back dive into my business. So
nice. So when did you then, so COVID happened, you were able to fall back, which is amazing. That's always a great thing.
Yeah.
You were able to fall back. You were well needed. How long did it take you then? And I know COVID with everything was going on. When did you then get back into it?
I'd have to say, gosh, when did everything start opening? Because we had the shutdown early 2020.
It's all
then
blur.
there was like a re-shutdown.
It's all blur.
I know. It's like
COVID's so like it feels like the past 4 years feel like a blip.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
I feel like
it was
I blacked
such
out for like 3 years.
It was such an up and down. So yeah, we had to shut down.
I want to say it was like towards December. I think it was like a re-shutdown in 2020.
Because I was gonna say 2021. I'm trying to think. I went to Puerto Rico in 2021 in January, and it was intense. Like everything was intense. But then that spring, everything opened up. Because I have a buddy who, because I have a buddy who ended up going to Puerto Rico, and they had like block parties everywhere because they were so excited that they could be, around everybody and whatnot. And I was so jealous. But so spring-ish, you would say 2021?
Spring, yeah, when we were able to open everything back up. I actually started in shout out to mom and dad. They had a
Shout out mom and dad, you're the best.
They've been so supportive throughout this whole entire thing. I wouldn't be here without them, that's for sure.
Are they still in Utah?
Nope, they're in Lebanon actually.
Oh, they're in Lebanon. Shout out Lebanon.
Yeah, right. So they, kind of long story short, my family, we're all from southern Utah, but my mom, she's a doctor nurse practitioner.
Okay.
So they moved to Lebanon when she graduated, and that's like what influenced the location, because
Gotcha.
I knew Pennsylvania existed on the radar, but
Yeah.
it was never on my mind. So,
Pennsylvania's
but
not really on anybody's mind, let alone Lebanon or Central PA.
Yeah. No, I love it. It's been awesome. But so I started out in my parents' front room they had, and they just allowed me to be, do my creative space there and take people. And, I really think about it, like, good for them for letting random strangers in their house just to let me do my work and create my craft.
Yeah.
But then I think once I got to a point where I really knew I wanted to have my own space, I was in Annville, and I was there for about a year and a half. And then I came here.
Where at in Annville?
It was on Main Street. It was above Amani Salon, and the entrance was from the back.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had a friend that cut my hair there, and she knew I was looking for spaces, and so she was like, we have this space upstairs. I'm going to talk to my landlord and her boss, and it worked out pretty well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So you went from COVID to where basically your dreams and aspirations were kind of on hold a little bit. To your parents being super supportive, which is always huge. Having a good support group always helps business owners.
Absolutely.
So you ended up in the front of their house, or would you say a room?
It was like a front room. It was technically it's like a dining room.
Okay.
You walk in and straight to the left. It was just like a place that I guess could be like a breakfast nook or whatever it wanted to be, but they weren't using it.
For you, is your space.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
That's awesome. So then you ended up in Annville. How long were you in Annville?
About a year and a half.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So would you say about 2 years then into the future? We're headed into 2023, last year?
I'd say, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then you were there for a year and a half in Annville. What next? Where did you end up next? What was the next move from there then? We're talking maybe springish of last year?
Springish of last
maybe
year.
Summer
So
last year?
yeah, so I think it was around summertime. I knew I wanted to move my location more towards Lancaster County is where I was looking.
Was there a reason why, heading towards Lancaster?
I think just the demographic and everything. If you provide good work, anyone's going to travel no matter how far. But it was just somewhere that I always would visit, and I had a bunch of friends there, and it's just somewhere that I wanted to kind of pivot and move over that way.
For sure.
And actually, my boyfriend, he has a tattoo shop a few doors down. So
okay.
That's kind of how I found this location. So
what's his business?
Nick Spesser.
Okay.
Yeah,
shout him out.
Yeah,
there
shout out to Nick Spesser.
There you go. If you want a tattoo in New Holland.
Yeah, no, provides great work. There's him and Saul over there. It's just them two rocking it out. So yeah.
So that attracted. So you had an attraction to Lancaster, which we all do.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
right.
Me and my fiance, we love Lidditz. We go to Lidditz all the time. We love going downtown to the Exchange. Shout out to the Exchange.
Yeah, right.
It's a great time.
Yeah.
Tella's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, all the good places.
So you were attracted to Lancaster. Your boyfriend, who was already in New Holland,
correct,
has a shop. You found out about this space because of him?
Yes. So I had actually found a space in Lancaster, and there was no signing yet, but it was kind of, we were moving forward, finding the zoning officers and everything like that.
In the city?
Yes. In the city.
Good luck.
I know, right?
You know what I mean? That's a rarity.
It was a cool space, and I don't need much. I mean, I don't even know the square footage, but, I just need a space to have, my chair and where I can fit, really.
To do the work.
I didn't need a lot. And found a space, and then my boyfriend, the barber next door here at Serrano's Barber, he came over to get his hair cut, and he saw there was this little tiny paper that just said for rent.
Little tiny paper.
And, it didn't look legit, but
is the landlord an old school landlord?
Yes, he's amazing. It kind of lets me just do whatever I want. He's pay the rent, you're good. So it's been super awesome.
Was it a sticky note in the window?
It was a little piece of paper, and he got his hair cut. He sent me a picture. He was like, I know it's not Lancaster, but come check this out. And
pretty close. What's the drive?
Right, it's maybe 30 minutes. If that. Yeah, not too bad. And I came and checked it out, and I peeked through the window, and I just I didn't see the potential yet. I just came and I said, no, I don't want it.
The vision's tough sometimes.
It definitely was, and but I always dreamt of a storefront.
Yeah.
Ever since I got
So
started in
the
this
place
field.
in Lancaster wasn't a storefront?
No, it was on the 3rd floor in a building.
Nice.
Like it
Okay.
wasn't, you know, I would have had maybe a little sign out on the street that I existed, but
Yeah.
nothing like what I have now, that's for sure. And I was like, you know what, I'll just come meet with the landlord. And I did, and I walked in. I was like, wait, this can be perfect.
Yeah.
And when he said I had, you know, freedom to do whatever I want,
that's
when
huge.
I knew.
That's
Yeah,
huge.
I wanted to come here, and it's been a dream. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, it started in 2016?
So 2018 was when I took the microblading course. Yeah.
But was this in the back of your mind at all, like prior to your friend doing this?
No.
No?
Not at all.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was never something that I liked. I don't wear, and maybe in like middle school I caked my face on like every girl did back then, but
my nieces.
Yeah, right. But it wasn't ever, I never was interested in beauty. I never was in like the aesthetics or like med spa or anything.
It has really
like
like exploded.
It is booming.
I was just talking, my buddy, one of my childhood best friends, he's a dentist down in Texas,
Okay.
and he's actually going to get licensed to do Botox.
Oh, wow.
Because he's at like a higher end dental
Right,
facility,
yeah.
and there's a lot of benefits for like, I guess, your jaw and stuff like that.
Oh,
So like
wow.
he's doing that, and we were talking of like how just in the past, like I would say kind of 7
Yeah.
years of how it's like really exploded, and you know, it's being what's the word I'm trying to look for, like accessible.
Yes.
Because like
Yeah.
before, I remember there was way back when I was a kid, there was a Botox doctor. Well, we called him plastic. He was a plastic surgeon, and in Lebanon, I used to be like, man, this guy's like is he from like a movie? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like you never
Yeah.
heard of these things,
Right,
and
yeah.
now it's so accessible and stuff like that, and
Yes.
it's a growing industry.
It's definitely become very common. Like you said, it's just, you know, you Google and you have like 30 plus people, areas pop
Yeah.
up, and it's, like you said, very accessible. And it definitely has grown a lot, and it's a little intimidating, but I also think that was another influence of why I wanted to come out here in New Holland.
I
and-
wanted to get to like
Yep.
that part of
Yeah.
like, you know, I'm not familiar with New Holland, but
Mm-hmm.
this is the main street.
Yes.
So you're on the main street. Clearly, I don't think there's any other, you know, someone similar to you in this area, right?
Nope, there is not, not to my knowledge. Maybe, I think the nearest one would either be, I think, Honeybrook or somewhere out towards that way. But again, collaboration over competition.
Yeah.
It really is like, but it was a little intimidating in Lancaster just because it is pretty saturated with, you know, tattooing, cosmetic tattoo artists, the beauty industry,
Yes.
everything like that. And you really, really have to stick out.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not a big social media person, and that's just what it is now. And I miss the OG ways of word of mouth.
Yeah.
You know, my clients are my walking billboard, and, you know, local
Friend telling a friend.
hangouts. Yeah. And it's just, so I think that was, like I said, a big influence here is because one, storefront, I can have that exposure. And two, I'm right in between, so Serrano Barber and then Serrano Salon, their husband and wife. So we have that traction there.
And then your boyfriend, the tattoo
Yes.
shop. Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, because I was gonna say like the industry's growing, but I think just in general, like the service industry of like looking good, like
Right.
barbers. Like
Yeah.
I remember, you know, my mom's a beautician now. She cuts elderly, but
Okay.
you know, growing up, like she used to cut my hair when I was like 10 years old, and then my one buddy started cutting hair in his bedroom, like literally the only kid in all of Lebanon that cut. Like he would
Wow.
have kids out the door, kind of similar to your situation
Very
where his
cool.
parents would
Yeah.
allow
Just
random.
Gotta start somewhere.
We almost had like we had like both like 2 high schools coming to him and stuff like that. And to look back at that, you know, I think the age gap between him and all other barbers were like 20,
Wow.
30 years.
Wow.
And you could get a haircut for like $6.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
I spend anywhere between $30 and $50 every haircut.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that just industry of like, I gotta make sure I look good and stuff. And I'm sorry, not right now. It's been a rough week last week.
That's all right.
But you know, you having that right next door to you, and then the salon and stuff like that, that's a lot of walk-in business that you
It
can
is,
really
yeah.
attract and stuff like that. It's actually like a perfect location.
Yeah,
You
it
know what I
really,
mean?
once I got past like where I didn't see the vision at first, and then I kind of let everything settle in, I realized the location, how friendly everybody was, and also New Holland itself, it's still, you know, it's growing, evolving, and there's more shops being built, and
Yeah.
it's,
How long have the husband and wife been here?
That's a great question. I have no idea.
Because like if they're two successful businesses,
Right.
that's a sure sign that you're going to be successful in this area and
definitely.
stuff like
And
that.
they were so welcoming. I remember because I came here, I got this place in October, and I just covered up all the windows, and I just put a sign up there, like cosmetic tattoo studio coming January 2024. And Shannon, the stylist, she saw that I was in one day, and she came running over and she wanted to introduce herself, and she was like, I just want to let you know, like, we're going to get you settled in, like, we're going to get you clients.
That's
and
awesome.
like, it was the most, like, because you don't get that too often. You do get the few people who see you as competition, and they don't want to help you out. And to get that warm welcoming and, open arms, it almost gives you that much more confidence just to be like, well, hell yeah, I'm going to do this. Like, this is great. We have the support system, strangers next door that want to be there and support you. It was incredible.
No, that's awesome. So you said October, that would have been October of 2023.
Yes.
Is when you signed the lease?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So from that point, I remember you saying that you officially opened when?
January, I think it was like January 4th of this year.
Oh, wow. So new year opening,
Yes,
you know what I mean? New you, new business, everything. So from October to January, what were you doing in between then? Were you working in here?
No, I wasn't. So everything I have in here, it was completely blank. We had to sand the walls, paint the walls, fill in patches, whatever we could. But I was still working out of my place in Annville at that time. So it was really fortunate. My landlord and Annville, she was so just supportive of everything I wanted to do. And so she was like, I was thinking about renewing in Annville, and I found it here, and I let her know what had happened, and she was like, perfect, you just let me know when you're out, and then you can do whatever you need to do.
That's awesome.
So I said, all right.
Shout out to the landlord.
Yeah, shout out to Ange. We love Ange.
We're the same way. Like we have a bunch of units in Lebanon, and we have a couple commercial spaces, and like I was very adamant of it's a business. I got to make money.
Right.
At the same time, like I want the businesses to thrive.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like it just builds a good community.
Yes.
So that's awesome. You know what I mean? To your landlord for giving you that opportunity to say, 'cause at the end of the day, some landlords can be, they can be rough.
I think it comes with
They can give you
selfishness.
shit. Yeah, they can give you shit.
They just don't care. And I've been in those situations, not even necessarily with like this business, but just like renting homes in general. And it's not fun. Yeah,
it's not good business. So then October, got in here, started doing the renovations, getting everything settled and everything else like that. January 4th, 2024, you opened up.
Yep, had my first client here. It was amazing.
Here we are. So now it's been, August? Were you in August?
We're almost about to August.
Yeah, so almost 8 months. How's it been? How's it feel?
It feels surreal,
yeah.
Honestly. I mean, even the days, I'm only here a few days a week, and, eventually once I'm done with my aesthetic school, I want to pivot and be here majority of the time as opposed to 3 days at the hospital as well.
Yeah.
But every time I leave here, or even just walk in, like it's so corny, but I romanticize everything, and just as little as like unlocking my door, and I just like walk in, I'm just like, holy, can I swear?
Yeah.
I say, okay.
Yeah.
I just say, holy shit, like this is mine.
I was swearing, so.
Yeah, right, that's true. And it's just, I think about me in 2018 just taking the course, terrified to even draw an eyebrow on a piece of paper. Where
I'm not gonna lie, I would be terrified.
It's honestly an intimidating, scary industry, but it's also the most rewarding and self-fulfilling. Like, you do something and it's like, I did that.
Yeah.
So,
and people come here to get better, you know what I mean? To say
and the people that support my small business and the friendships I've created, not only with clients, but also people in the industry, like it just like compounds to make me want to be here and, be the artist that I want to be, and the friend and the everything that I'd ever want to have.
Yeah.
So it's surreal that I have this little space here, and I definitely don't take it for granted. That's
well,
for
it's
sure.
6 years in the making.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Almost,
it's crazy.
almost 7 if you think about it.
Yeah,
we're going into
getting
2025.
there.
So yeah, you have the business up and running now. You're saying that you want to, you're in aesthetic school, right? So what does that look like? What's that gonna offer to your clients then once you get that done?
Yeah, so I'm really, really excited. I only have 4 weeks left. I'm so
4 weeks?
Yeah,
That's
4 weeks
awesome.
left, and it's a 15-week program. And really, I wanted to offer more services where people could come back rather, because I'll do someone's eyebrows and then I see them in maybe 3 years.
Yeah.
If they want to come get a touch up. And for those that want like more or less permanent or intimidating services, I'm going to start offering like brow waxing, tinting, brow laminations, lash lifts, lash tints, and I'm thinking about lash extensions, so we'll see.
Okay.
But it opens up a whole new realm of what I'm going to be able to offer for those that want to come in for those services.
Yeah.
So,
And more reoccurring business.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's something that maybe you're not so, like you said, like scary to get, your eyebrows done or
Right.
whatnot. So
Yeah.
come in, they can get something else. So that's awesome. So 4 weeks, you'll pass that.
Yes.
And then, like, can you offer those services immediately? How does that look? Like,
No, so
like,
we have to go through. I'm going to have to take my state boards, and then
So
I have
you're
to,
also state. Does that fall under? What does that fall under then? Is that cosmetology?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So Pennsylvania is a little different. I mean, it's different per state, but yeah. So aesthetics falls under cosmetology in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So then I have to have this place get licensed. So I'm going to have to switch a little things up in here to make
they get a little funky.
They do.
Like I said,
yeah.
my mom's been a beautician for
Right. Yeah. The rules are
30
very interesting.
years,
We're actually
yeah.
going over the law right now in aesthetic school, so
Okay.
it's good to know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Hopefully you get a good
basically-
inspector.
I know. Fingers crossed.
My mom has. There's this one guy she's always had, and he's always been fantastic.
That's amazing.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I just don't understand when you get whatever industry it's in, you get somebody that's like pain in the ass. Like I know
Yeah.
there's rules,
Right.
but it's like you could be a little more open and caring,
Yes,
and,
yeah.
and maybe also saying, hey, like, you got to do this. Why don't you do it this way? You know what I
Right,
mean?
yes.
And we can get it to work,
Yeah.
something like that.
Like to make it work, you
Yeah,
know.
because we deal with it with
Yeah.
the city, with municipalities when we're getting permits and
Right.
stuff like that. So I always look at it as like we're all in the same boat. It's the whole
Yeah.
collaboration over competition.
Yes.
Like we're all in the same boat. Why would you try to make my life more difficult?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I mean, once you get where you need to be, it also helps them get where they
Yep.
need to be. So yeah, it's kind of like a give and take there. But no, yeah. So I'll have to get this place inspected and then get it licensed.
Yep.
And then once that license gets approved, then I can start offering the services. I
Okay.
mean, definitely I could right away, but I don't want to go that route and
Yeah.
maybe have someone come walking in and be like,
Yeah.
you can't be doing that. So I definitely want to do it the right way.
That's awesome.
And,
No, that's good
yeah.
because there are a lot of people out there that don't.
Correct. Yeah.
And not digging them at all. Everybody got to do what they got to do.
That's
But
right.
we're the same way. Like there's a lot of other businesses that do what I do, and they either cut corners
Right.
or they don't put the time, effort, and dollars into the resources.
Mm-hmm.
Because it costs you. You might have to rearrange something in here. You got to pay for the license and inspection, and there's someone out there that's just kind of
They're just doing what
just
they need. Yeah.
doing it, So props to you. So 4 weeks, finish school, then you're gonna, go through the whole licensing thing with the state and whatnot. So I don't know a time frame for that stuff. Like, how did they give you?
I think it just depends really who we get or
Yeah.
how it goes. I don't. Fortunately, at the school, they'll do like a pseudo walkthrough or something like that.
That's
so I
awesome.
think that'll be very helpful. Yeah, they want us to succeed.
Yeah.
They want us to do it right. They want to make sure that
Is the
we're
school local?
compliant.
Online?
It's in Lancaster, so it's Lancaster School of Cosmetology.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been around for quite some time, and incredible teachers, incredible schooling, education that they offer. You can definitely tell that, like, for aesthetic school, it's only 300 hours that they offer here, which is like the skeleton base of education. But
Okay.
our teacher educator, like, she tries to shove in as much as she
Yeah.
possibly can to, like, she's like, I know, like, this is just base level, but, like, I want you to know a little more.
Yeah.
And at that point, once we graduate, it also is up to us, like, if we want to take, like, really more education classes, more advanced classes, what we want to do. So it's just giving us, like, our certification, and then we kind of go from there what we want to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. So we'll
Sky's the limit.
yeah,
Sounds like
it really is. Yeah. So luckily, like I said, they'll do like a pseudo walkthrough, see what we need fixed and everything like that, so they can have us prepared
Get you
for
prepped.
when.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
so that's
huge.
really helpful. Definitely.
Yeah, that's huge. So once you get through that, then you'll be able to give all the, offer that.
Mm-hmm.
It's great that you have, the medical on the other side. That's,
Mm-hmm.
being able to balance, because we all know we have bills and all that
Right.
other stuff.
Yeah, bills.
So what's the future hold for you? We talked about your past. We
Mm-hmm.
talked about the present. What's the future look like for, Pearl Beauty?
I'm really hoping, I had mentioned it, just to be here more days than I am right now. I'm forever going to hold my CT license and have
That's
that.
smart.
Yeah,
I mean,
just to
I'm an
keep that-
electrician, so
There you
by
go.
trade, like,
Yep, yeah.
there's always
So,
something there.
Correct. So I think just to have that, really just work at the hospital 1 day a week. I enjoy it there. I love it, and
That's
I
awesome
love
that
going there.
you know what I mean, that you enjoy that also.
It is. I think if I worked there full time, I wouldn't love it. But like, luckily, I have.
It's kind of like having like nieces and nephews, right? Yes. You know what I mean? Yeah. You love kids, but it's always nice to be able to hand
Correct.
them back.
Yep. Yeah. So if I could just be at the hospital 1 day a week, or just minimal requirement of me, and then be here 4 days a week and just pile in the clients and have them here and keep me busy and booked and make this just full time. So.
Sounds like a great dream. So what is it, I want to quick dive in of like, what does your normal day look like? Like how long does each session take? You know what I mean? Things of that nature.
Yeah, so I am open from 11 a.m., taking my last appointment around 5:30, which makes me end at 8. So each session I block out 3 hours. It generally doesn't always take that long, but when they come in, they'll do like the consultation form.
Well, you want to make sure you give a good service
correct.
and everything
yeah,
else like
so
that.
I block
Hold their
out that
hand.
Yeah, right. No,
Yeah.
it's people come in so terrified, and really, it's just a lot of that time. Yeah,
I can only imagine. Like me and my fiance, I took her to the chiropractor a few years ago for the first time, and she cried because she was that like scared. You know what I mean? So I can only imagine.
Yeah.
And that's great that you give that like time period. You're not rushing them and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely a reassurance, just because I've gotten my brows done for over 5 years, I feel like, if I had to guess, and even when I go for my touch-ups, I'm still nervous, and it's my best friend that does it, so I can only imagine them coming into a space where they've never been with someone they've never met. And I like to say I'm a little empathetic, and I just really try to feel for if they're nervous, if they're scared, if they're intimidated, and I really want to help them feel reassured. So even we can take up to 30-40 minutes just having a conversation back and forth of what they're looking for, what they want, and even during that time, I have to figure out if this is what's for them too, as well.
See, that's huge.
Yes, so I've even had to turn clients away respectfully, just because I can see that what they want and what they're envisioning and what I provide, we can't come to a common ground, and I just say, when you're ready, maybe you can come back, or this is just not for you. Maybe you need to go get and this is why I want to do brow waxing and tinting, because they're so terrified, and I think they need something less permanent, and where they can kind of ease into it, see how it feels, and then they can come in for a permanent cosmetic tattooing.
That's really huge. I give you props for that, because
it's hard,
a lot of owners and things like that, and we have to close sales. Like at the end of the day, you're a small business owner, you're the accountant, you're the sales rep, you're the HR, everything else like that. So like, to make them comfortable and stuff like that is huge. And even for you to say, hey, like, I'm not the one for you. You know what I mean? This isn't for you is great. And I think you'll actually gain tons more clients for that, especially after you start offering. You can say, hey, look, I can do this instead.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
something
definitely.
like that.
Yeah, so, and then once we dive into that, finish all like the consultation forms, then we basically just dive right in. And it may be like the CT tech and me working at the hospital, but I am a very thorough, like every step of the way, like, okay, this is numbing cream, this is what you're gonna feel. And again, it's just to really put them at ease. And then I think once I realize and I can feel that they're pretty relaxed, like we'll just listen to some jams, we'll gossip if they want to. We just hang out for like a few hours, and really it's about the 2 hour mark is when we're getting close to finishing up, but then the perfectionist in me wants to make sure we're good. So, and then towards the end, I go over like the aftercare, anything that they have concerns about. They have my number. They have like, ways to get in contact with me. Just even, not only am I with them, before, during, but also after. Because I always say brow shock is real. You got to trust the process. And it really, a tattoo, you get that done. It's so dark and so bold. Eyebrows are going to be the same way, and some people come in with no brows, and then they're having brows. So it's
my
scary.
son has extremely light eyebrows, so I can only imagine like him getting some dark ones. They'd be like, whoa.
Whoa. And so I just tell them, please don't hesitate to text me if you need to. And so we're on the journey together every time. And so I usually block about 3 hours. If I'm doing cosmetic tattooing throughout the whole day, my max is 3 clients. So
awesome. Well, We talked about the past, the present, and the future.
Yep.
Brittany, thank you for allowing us to do the SBS with Pearl Beauty. I cannot say that.
That's
I don't know why. So why don't you let everybody know where they can find you, your physical location, any social media, things like that.
Absolutely. No, thank you for doing this. I've never done anything like this before. It's been super awesome, super nervous, but we made it through. But yeah, I'm Brittany with Pearl Beauty Brows. Pearl's my middle name. That's where that all came from. And you can find me here on Main Street in New Holland. And on my social medias is Instagram is Pearl Beauty Brows. I believe Facebook is the same. And then I have my own website, which is pearlbeautybrows.com. I'm super open to messages, questions, concerns, anything at all. Like I said, like we're on the journey together, and I want to give you what you want out of this experience, and I'm pumped.
Awesome.
This is exciting, yeah.
Well, thank you, Brittany. Again, as always, we're super thankful for you to be on here today for the SBS. It is collaboration over competition. We're trying to build a community of small businesses that work together. This is Noah with Ask4Noah, and thank you again. Please like, share, and follow. And then also, we always ask the business owner, I don't know if Lex told you about doing a giveaway.
Absolutely, yeah.
So what are you going to give away?
Free brows, why not?
Free brows, wow.
Whole set of free brows.
Free brows.
Yeah,
so if you would like to win free brows, you're going to like this, you're going to share it, and then you're going to tag 2 people. And that will enter for a chance to win free brows, which is huge. Then what will happen is we will, let people enter for about a week, and then we'll put them on the wheel. We'll spin the wheel, and 2 lucky winners will be picked. And then what we'll do is we will have them contact you directly.
Perfect.
Because the whole idea is to engage as many people as possible with your business.
Right. Yeah, and definitely don't let my business men. If you want your fiance to win, you can enter and then have her win it. So all the men out there, if you have any ladies that want their brows done, and even men can get their brows done too. So anyone can do that. I think that's a big thing when I even do giveaways is they think it's only pertinent to the ladies, but it can be anybody.
So anybody can enter, and you can pass it along to your fiance, wife, mom, daughter, boyfriend, husband.
Yeah.
So again, please like, share, and follow. And enter to win for a free brow. And thank you again so much for being on SBS.
Awesome. Very cool.
Wrapped up.